Kaduna, in northern Nigeria, was once known as a city of balance, a place where Christians and Muslims lived in a tense but working harmony. But in February 2000, that balance cracked. The Nigerian federal government had just returned to democracy under President Obasanjo. But across the north, a different fire was burning, the call to implement Sharia law in predominantly Muslim states. Kaduna State, a religious melting pot, was one of the most volatile places for such a decision. And when plans to implement Sharia were announced, the city exploded. It didn't happen suddenly. Flyers began to circulate in neighborhoods. Some claimed Christians were arming themselves. Others warned Muslims of Christian plots to block Sharia. Mistrust grew. Fear festered. And then, on February 21, 2000, during a Christian organized protest against Sharia implementation, it began. Narrator. Protesters poured into the streets. Some held placards. Others held machetes. Within hours, Christian mobs attacked Muslim neighborhoods. Homes were burned. People dragged from their houses. The killing was indiscriminate. That same day, retaliation followed. Muslim youths, incensed by the attacks, stormed Christian enclaves. Churches were set ablaze. Entire families slaughtered in revenge. The city descended into chaos, and the government? Nowhere. For 3 days, Kaduna was ruled by fire and fear. Street corners became killing grounds. Religious symbols turned into death warrants. If you were in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time, you didn't live to tell the tale. The police were overwhelmed. The army arrived late. By then, the worst had already happened. By the end of the week, over 1,000 people had been killed. Dozens of churches and mosques reduced to rubble. Thousands fled Kaduna, displaced in their own country. And what was it all for? A law. A political decision that unleashed a monster lying beneath decades of suppressed religious tension. Who incited the violence? Why did the authorities delay? How could neighbors, friends, turn so quickly on each other? The answers were buried, alongside the bodies. The Kaduna massacre wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a long, bloody decade of sectarian violence in Nigeria. Jos, Kano, Maiduguri, all followed. But Kaduna? It was the warning shot we ignored. Today, Kaduna remains divided, north and south, Muslim and Christian. Walls of silence still exist. Trauma still lingers. Justice never came. And every few years, the embers burn again. Because in Nigeria, we bury the dead, but not the causes. Kaduna was a lesson, but no one listened. Subscribe to Luminary